Welcome to the Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast. Our podcast episodes breathe life into selected themes from the DDQ Meditation Journal. Hosted by our founder, Najma Thomas, we engage in heartfelt discussions with a diverse roster of inspirational Queen sisters. We explore their unique perspectives, uncover the wisdoms shaped by their journeys, and celebrate the trials and victories along the way. Together, we are creating a woe manifestation space where conversation meets examination and sparks transformation. All right, hot mic, hot mic, hot mic. And hey, Queen Sis. Welcome back. It's Najma, the Day Clean Devotion Queen, here with our wonderful featured guest, Gullah Joy Latrese Bush. Queen Sis, I'm so happy to have this opportunity to get to know a little bit more about you and your work, especially in the context of our new season theme. So just thank you so much for taking out time to join us today.
Thank you, Day Clean Queen. We Geechee, so we talk fast, so that's like a tongue twister. Day
You know.
Clean Queen. Thank you
You
for having
got
me.
it. Yes, it is my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's always a pleasure to chop it up with our Gullah Geechee folks, and this
Yes,
is just a special treat. So
thank you.
we're in our emergence season, and for
Mm,
those of you who have been listening, emergence is what comes after convergence. So we had conversion conversations, talked about change in minds, change in pace, all of those good things. But emergence is the season where clarity turns into action, where new ideas and new identities and directions begin to show themselves in real, meaningful ways. And just
mm.
like springtime, all those seeds we planted in the winter start to break through and break forth and bring their fruits. So it's just a wonderful time to be alive. It's a great time to be in community, and it's a awesome opportunity to be speaking with Gullah Joy. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of background for those listening. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you're seeing the joy and the beauty on the screen. Gullah Joy Latrese Bush is a performing and recording artist whose soulful voice has taken her around the world. Her
Mm.
original music has climbed to the top of the UK Soul Chart, earned high placement on the Jazz Billboard Charts. She has shared the stage with musical greats including Grammy Award winner Gloria Gaynor, funk and soul legends the Barclays, jazz icon Roy Ayers, and pop superstar Justin Bieber. Queen Sis got breath, okay? But still, Latrese holds her Gullah Geechee heritage closest to her heart. A proud native of Bluffton, South Kakalaki, she is the founder of the Fish and Grits Music Festival. This is a wonderful annual celebration of Gullah Geechee culture, and it's returning to Hilton Head Island on October 3rd at Lowcountry Celebration Park. Y'all, since its launch in 2023, the Fish and Grits Music Festival has welcomed thousands of visitors from across the country. So we're going to talk to Latrese today. Latrese's sound is a vibrant blend of gospel, soul, jazz, folk, and R&B, all grounded in Gullah Geechee gospel traditions that shaped her. And we have this
Mm.
opportunity to learn a little bit more about those traditions.
Yes.
So, Queen Sis, day clean comes from our culture,
Yes.
that term. So you're familiar with day clean.
Hmm.
My opening question to all of our featured guests is, what is your day clean ritual? How do you get your day started in the morning?
Well, it's so. Thank you for the question again. Thanks again for having me. And this theme of emergence is kind of hitting home very sensitively in this moment. I just turned 50. So when you talk about so
Congratulations! Happy
I'm
born
emerging
day!
I'm emerging into a lot of different things. So day clean for me is coming earlier every night. Like, I mean, I'm waking up at 2 o'clock. I'm waking up at 3, and I'm like, so with this new season I'm in. But of course, I always give God thanks for awakening me and to give me another opportunity to try to get it right. None of us is perfect, and I do like to clear my head before I get started. And so I live in Atlanta. I'm actually between here in South Carolina and Atlanta, where I live primarily. And there are times when I just want to get in the car, and when it's right before day clean, before the light kisses the sky, I like to get in the car and drive. And I'm and out and I don't know why. I don't know why the Lord was this. He blesses me so, because he put my favorite coffee shop right up the street, about 5 minutes from my house. And so then in Atlanta, and now it's only 5 minutes from my house at my mama's house, and I'll just go get a cup of coffee, and I'm just driving aimlessly and drinking my coffee, listening to sometimes the Bible app. I'll listen to the Bible app, and then I'll listen to music. But people will be surprised, and this may be the same for a lot of people who sing, but I don't listen to as much music as people think. Because I'm there's always a lot of sound in my head, and I just sometimes I just like quiet. So
Yeah.
I'll drive, and then I also that coffee issue I have, and for your listeners and for you, I have a song online now called Caffeine, because of my love of coffee. It ain't gonna sound like I'm talking about coffee, but I am. But
Oh,
anyway,
we're gonna have to
moving
play
on.
a clip.
You have to play clip of that. Clip that
We're
in.
gonna have to clip that in.
Put that in, caffeine. And so, but I like to walk.
Okay.
One of the things that I really do love to do in the morning normally is to walk, and I've been walking lately with a weighted vest. So for a 12-pound vest on me, I'm walking um, right at day clean, and it's just it's the mental and physical you get from that is just so important. And that's just a really really important part of my life, is walking and being active. I'm an athlete, as well as this. I mean, I'm a retired athlete as well as a singer. So a lot of my life is physicality. I'm very
Hmm.
physical, and when I sing, and a lot of movement. It's in our culture. I love being
Yes.
outside. So being Gullah Geechee means, for me, growing up Gullah was a lot of time outside, a lot of time outdoors and in nature, not even realizing that's what you were doing, because it was so fun being on the property with all your family,
Yup.
and and everything in Gullah Geechee lifestyle. We is at day clean. Like my father, was an agrarian, so he would get up early and had to tend to the crops or what have you, and or make my brother get up to cut the grass, whatever. It was always
Hmm.
in the morning. So a lot of great things happen in the morning, but I like to really start my day with peace before productivity. It goes
Hmm.
a lot bit better for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a gem I'm going to take, peace before productivity.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate how you surface the movement component of day
Oh
clean,
yeah.
moving your body. So what was your
Oh yeah.
sport? You said you retired. What was your
Oh, I
sport?
played. I played basketball mainly, but so I went to college to play basketball. So I played
Okay.
basketball at the University of Georgia, Go Dogs, and
All
so
right.
that was back in the mid to late '90s, and we
Okay.
went to two Final Fours, two Final Fours and one championship game. We didn't win, but but that tells you the class of athlete I was, and the
Yes.
class of athletes that I played against. But I would not have made it that far if I was not a Gullah Geechee,
Yeah.
because I learned how to play and to get beat up by my cousins and the neighborhood
In
kids,
the
right?
neighborhood.
Who are also your cousins, and kissing cousins, but
Uh-huh.
cousins still the same.
Cousin's
And
still the same.
hashtag small town. You see, and
Okay.
so I think so. I did. So then, not only that, I have fond memories of playing softball, and so we have a beautiful uh, uh, recreation program here in Beaufort County and even Jasper, but Beaufort County, We had softball leagues as a young girl, and we would play. We had a team here, and then we would have to travel to
Mm-hmm.
Ladies Island and play the teams there. And and I know I'm hopefully, and you got to probably put me on track, but I'm just kind of all over the place. But I'm just really,
Go
but
for it.
but one of the things I fondly remember, because I think that I get this a lot. Folks will tell me, you don't sound Gullah, you don't sound Geechee. I don't, and I honestly don't know what they mean, because
What is that?
we don't all sound the same. And I do get what they get. I know what they're saying, but but we don't all sound the same. And let me tell you, because I know I'm Geechee, and
Right,
I mean,
right.
and but my father sounded more Geechee than my mother. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just because of the nature of what they had to do every day, how they had to code and whatever.
Sure,
But I
sure.
wasn't around my father when he was coding, as much as when I was around my mother, because I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
he coded as well.
Right,
But
right.
he was very geeky. But
Yeah.
I say this because when we would leave from Bluffton, where we actually were exposed probably to more folks than folks on Ladies Island, because we were
Mm-hmm.
right there on Hilton Head. So I was educated on Hilton Head for high school. The kids from Hilton Head came to Bluffton for elementary and middle school.
Okay.
So you're exposed a little differently. And then let's just be real, they didn't teach Gullah in school.
Oh, it wasn't
Okay,
sexy then.
it was sexy then, but
Okay.
I will tell you this. But when we went over to the Ladies Island, and we would talk, we would play against Natasha, that Geechee gal,
Not
Natasha
that get
Rothwell,
you
that Geechee
gal.
gal, and all them over there. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a different kind of, it was, we heard it differently,
Yeah.
because they spoke it a lot more purely, because they had more pure speakers
Sure,
where they
sure.
were. And so it's very, and so they would tease us.
Yeah,
You were
you get you
teasing
down.
them. You were like Geechee. Y'all acting like, oh, like, wait a minute. But it's beautiful though. It is absolutely all love. And I
Yeah.
just wish that we had known how wonderful and beautiful our culture was then. But I
Then,
will say that it's okay. I don't I'm flowing into I'm very grateful that God allowed me to learn more about my culture as I'm older, because I can do more about it, which is what the
yeah,
Fish and Beatrice, which is what the festival is about. To
yeah,
me, it's a celebration of being Gullah, growing up Gullah, my experience of being Gullah and growing up Gullah. And my point in bringing up that story is that all Gullahs are not the same. All Gullahs
no,
are not created equal, right? But we do have that we have that tie that binds. And it's this beautiful low country. I call it the anointed coast, this Gullah heritage corridor that we live on. It's just, I love being home. I love coming through the canopy of live oaks with the with the Spanish moss just welcoming you on home. I'm like,
and the smell when you get up,
this
when you get at the bridge and you smell
smell
the
this.
marsh, you get,
Ah,
I'm home.
I'm home.
I'm
It's just the
home.
best.
It's the
The
best.
food is not the food, and we can't even describe the food to people. We can't describe what
You
it's.
gotta have.
You have to have it. And so I'm going to go on record and let your audience know that the shrimp and grits that you get at these restaurants is not the shrimp and grits that the Gullah Geechees created. I'm going to tell
It
you
just, it just ain't,
it
y'all.
just ain't.
I'm gonna have to co-sign on these
It just
statements.
ain't.
You
So
get, you know, that's not that. You need to be at somebody's house.
you got to be at somebody's house.
You
You
need
got
to
to
be
be
at
at somebody's
somebody.
house.
You gotta be
It's
at somebody's kitchen table.
kitchen table. Somebody get you in
Okay.
the kitchen. But no, but no, that I just, but that's the into the day clean, into the emergence. It's just
Yes.
being growing up Gullah is it just, it's a simple yet sophisticated experience. It's ordinary with extraordinary benefits that I have grown to really appreciate and love. And I'm hoping that my life's purpose will be to make myself even more aware of how beautiful I am because of the people that I come from, and then
Yes.
even show that more to those who come to our beautiful place.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It is, and I think having grown up Gullah myself and not without the awareness, with all of the beauty and with all of the influence, but
Yes.
not the language or the awareness, it is an extraordinary, ordinary experience. It
Oh,
was just, and we did not know.
we did
I
not
did,
know.
I did not know until I left and it wasn't there. And I thought, this can't be it. What is rice-a-roni, honey? Because this is
What
not
is
what
it?
I'm not in. Where is the red rice? 'Cause
Where is the red rice?
what is
Where is the
happening on
conch?
my plate?
Where is the conch stew? Where can you go and get conch stew? Where can
Where
you
is the
go?
cornbread? Because
Where?
your Jiffy muffins, I don't know.
I just don't
What's
understand it.
happening?
I
So
don't.
yeah, that's wonderful, and that's a good segue into my questions about roots and early influences. Because you
Yes.
talk about growing up Gullah, you grew up in the Low Country, surrounded
Yes.
by all of this rich culture, all of the sounds, all of the stories. Can you remember, like, talk to us about what did music sound like when you were growing up? Do you even remember like the sounds from your childhood?
Oh, do I? Yes. I, I do. So I don't know if you can hear this or even.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah. So that Afro beat, that 3 + 2 + 3, syncopated beat is the rhythm of our Gullah Geechee nation. Do
Yeah,
you hear me? It is.
yeah,
And so the every song that is what I hear.
yeah.
So I went to church at First Zion Missionary Baptist Church, and you know when I was a young girl, so under like the age of 10. Now we couldn't, we was, we poor people. Like my dad, we said we poor people, and so we couldn't afford no piano player who, and we had no piano player. We could afford Miss Ross. What's her name? Miss Ross, Mama. Miss Ross came from Savannah.
Okay,
We could afford Miss Ross to come one Sunday a month with the
okay.
senior choir. Okay, with
With
the
it,
senior choir. All right. So that was good, and she was singing them songs, and it was always a hymn. So songs from my childhood did not sound like Kirk Franklin, nor and the family, none of the family.
not
Kirk
John
Frank,
P. Key,
not John P. King. You didn't have no clock sisters
not the Winans.
harmonies, no Winans harmonies. You did not hear that. You hear me? But to me, but even when Miss Ross was there, and my mom is here, so I got to be careful about how I talk about the senior choir. But them hymns wasn't hymning every Sunday. Let me just say that.
The hymns for him.
but my mama is my favorite singer.
Oh,
Oh my God,
oh,
yeah. Every people still talk, she still sings, but in her prime, her soprano, in the way that she emoted, it was beautiful,
mm,
and she sings very beautifully. But for most of Gullah music, Negro spirituals, rose songs, those working songs,
yes, yes,
the shout songs,
yes.
those are the songs that when Miss Ross wasn't there and we didn't have no piano player, I promise you, we didn't miss no piano player, because what we had was our hands and our feet, and we had our those strong voices. They may not have
Yes.
been very melodic, but the power and the heart and soul in which people sang back then transcended harmonies, transcended, all those different things that people might say is, which they did say back in the day when the folks came from up north trying to teach these contraband these newly freed folks what to do, and they thought it was crude. They thought it was something, but it was our African heritage all the way through.
Absolutely.
And and it was nothing you had to teach a child. I don't
Mm-mm.
remember having to be taught that. As soon as they broke into a shout, or
You were
into the
there.
clap, we're there. And that's what I remember. Now, I don't
Hmm.
recall the traditional ring shout, because by the time I came around, we weren't in a praise house, although there was a
Okay.
praise house there. But we had a church with carpet pews and all those different things. But I remember my grandfather. He stood about 6'4", strapped, tall, big man, and he would sing "Adam in the Garden," and he would
Yes.
come, oh, and he would come down the aisle. And at the time, I didn't know it was a shout. I just thought he was a shuffling. He would just, he would, move his feet, and he would be booming, and he would, Eve, where is Adam? And the whole crowd would know that call and response. You see,
Come on.
that call and response when people, and that's an actual thing in music, right? The vamping of a
Yes.
song comes from our culture. So that
Yeah.
call and response, that comes from, that's an African thing. That's a Gullah Geechee traditional thing. And he would call, and the whole place would respond. Oh, it sent me going. And I was just a little girl, I was kind of shy, very
Mhm.
shy, actually, very quiet. But it was just something that it just transported me to see him come
Yeah.
down that aisle and to sing that song. It was nothing like it. It was just nothing
Hmm.
like it. And then, juxtaposed to my mom, who sang beautifully. You had this strong, rough, dun, dun, and calling
Yeah.
the ancestors, calling the spirits, kind of
Yes.
singing. And then you have my mother, who sings like, beautifully and emoting. So I saw both ways.
Yes.
I saw, I had the old time Gullah Geechee praising and shouting, and then I had the melodic and beauty, and hearing my mother sing, and other beautiful singers in the community as well. And and so it and then another, God, the more I talk about being Gullah, the more I know I'm Gullah, because even because my granddaddy, my daddy was in the church too. He was in the church too. He was a deacon. But my daddy also had a very Gullah thing as well. He also, because music was all around me, and I didn't realize how much my father, because I sing and my mother sings, I thought maybe I was more like her. But my father, unlike my mother, likes to entertain. And he loves people.
Ah.
He likes a lot of people being around. He loves to entertain. He likes to. So he had clubs. He had a club. He had a no. I don't know. I'm sorry. I
A
can't call
juke.
that a club. It's a juke joint.
He
He
had a
had a
juke joint.
he
He
had a
had a
juke joint.
juke joint. Let's go.
He had a juke joint. And when in reading and learning about the culture, and this joy I have is, I hope I'm not overwhelming your audience. It is
You
as
not. I
pure as
love
when I
some joy.
speak about this culture and about the people that really kind of that raised me. I just get so excited.
Yeah.
But and so I was reading Mr. Emery S. Campbell's Cultural Legacies book,
Hmm.
and he has a word that he has a vocabulary section where I believe he's mentioned this word jug, I believe,
Yes.
dancing erratically. It was called Joog, and it is thought to be what juke derives from. Do you
Sure.
see?
Sure. Sure.
And so
Absolutely. Absolutely.
my daddy had a juke joint on
Hmm.
278. So when y'all come to the Fish and Grits Music Festival this year, you're gonna have to travel 278 to get through Bluffton to get to Hilton Head. Now, if you look to the right while you're in Bluffton, you're gonna see a Jim and Nick's. All right, it's gonna be CVS
Yes.
Pharmacy and a Jim and Nick's.
Yes.
Now, what the Jim and Nick's was the Ponderosa.
Not the
Okay,
Ponderosa. Come
yes,
on.
sir. Named after his favorite Western. Because I don't know what it is
What?
with old people in Western.
What
With
is
old black
it?
people in Western.
Latrese. Like, why do they love the West? I cannot make it make sense. They
My
love the
mama,
Western. Oh
and
gosh.
she in here right now. So why do y'all like the Westerns like y'all like them now?
Why?
Okay, she got no answer, but that's all right. We're gonna come back, and we're gonna have an answer for your people.
We gonna find out. We
We're
gonna
gonna
find
find
out because
out.
they love them westerns. Y'all
They
know they
love
love
the
them
Western.
westerns.
The man loved the Western so much that he would name his whole club the
The
Ponderosa. But with the
Ponderosa.
Ponderosa, I wasn't old enough to go to the Ponderosa, but I would go to the Ponderosa only during the day on a Saturday when he had to clean it up. Now, cleaning
Yeah.
up, I'm using that very, very loosely, because how
Okay.
can you clean?
The
Can
ju-
you clean a hole in the wall in
You're
the
not
floor?
gonna clean the
You
ju-
I can clean that well. But I remember, hey, it smelled like some fried chicken. But what he had, which I will never forget. So I talked to you about my granddaddy, singing that Adam in the Garden. And then I talked to you
Yes.
about my mama, who can just emote and beautifully sing a hymn. But then my daddy had that juke joint, and he would play that jukebox.
Yeah.
and you would hear the Teddy Pendergrass
Come on.
and Gladys and them Pips, and you would hear Aretha Franklin and them. I mean, so it's I had all when you
You were
talk about
surrounded.
those are my influences.
You were
Those
surrounded.
so all of that. And so to me, if I can love a hymn as much as I can love a shout song, as much as I can love R&B and jazz, so what's the root of that? To me, the root of that is Gullah, is
Mhm.
Geechee, is the spirituals, the Negro
Yes.
spirituals, which is the basis of gospel music, which
Yes.
then is the basis of jazz, blues, and R&B. And so it just keeps growing. And so this beat, this rhythm of our nation is the basis of all rhythm of all
Yes.
popular music in America. And so, but I didn't know that. I
Right.
just
Right.
know, I just know that when I hear rhythm, I'm moving.
You're
So that's what
moving.
the physicality and the energy that me personally as a Gullah I live with and I perform with and that just moves me is because of how I grew up and
Yeah.
I just love it. So that's my influences. My early roots and
Yeah.
influences is all those music types.
And I've got to tell you, Queen Sis, it comes through. I have seen you perform. It is
Thank
high energy. It
you.
is movement. It is melodic. It is beautiful. It's all of the things that you just described. It's all of it coming like pouring through. So this
Thank
is
you.
wonderful.
Thank
And you
you.
know, to that point, so you have gone, we read your bio earlier. Your
Yeah.
work has taken you into rooms with incredible artists
Yeah.
across many, many musical spaces.
Very
So, what
grateful.
did some of those experiences teach you about your own artistry and
Mm.
your voice?
Wow. Well, um, that's a great question. So, what did it teach me about my own artistry and my voice? Well, I that I do stand out.
Yes.
That I do that I am that the voice, the artistry, even if I try to hide it by wearing black in the background, or if I try to hide it by being the background singer or the support, it always comes through. Like there
Mhm.
was always something, and I never understood it. Please, I'm not trying to boast. This is just what people are telling me. They all because I didn't think I was that. I mean, I didn't think I was that special when I got to Atlanta. I my I did a couple things, but the one thing that I did do, I was singing in a group, a gospel group,
Okay.
and they were some of the most incredible, and we were all very young. One of them is singing right now with Kirk Carr. Another one is doing a lot of background work with some of the biggest stars out there. And one of them is actually one of the founding members of God's Property. So
Okay.
he's yeah. So I mean, so these are the types of people, and there
Yes.
are so many others who've come in and out. And I was part of this group, and I was so like, these jokers can sing. I was like, well, oh my God. So, but there was always something about me and the way that I can't help it. The way that my energy, the way that it's the energy,
Mhm.
it's the stage presence, it's all
Mhm.
those different things
Yeah.
that really made me stand out. And people would tell me, and but I, I'm grateful for it. But I
Mhm.
know why though,
Yeah.
because Najma, let me just tell you, when I was a little girl, if I wasn't outside playing, I was in my brother's room. So my mother will tell you this house was at one point, like most houses, a shell home. And over the years, my parents would add on to
They
it.
add on. Sure,
They
sure,
added on to
sure.
it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
at
yeah.
one point, they added a carport, and then that carport turned into like a covered porch. Then
Mhm.
but my brother was getting big because he 6'3", some big boy with all these women. So they had to give him a
You need
room
a
for himself.
space.
So they built that up and gave him a room. But then he's 7 years older, so he was off working or what have you. And I'm like a teenager, and if I wasn't outside, I was in that room.
Mm.
And late at night, during the day, it didn't matter. and I was pretending. I would have the radio on. I would be singing with Aretha. I opened for Luther.
Wow.
I had interviews with Oprah.
You were putting on
I think
shows.
Babyface serenaded me one time at a Grammy Awards. I mean, it was 10,000 hours of literally or more of performing over the years. Even when I
Yeah,
was in college, I would come home for the summer. That was my escape.
that's
Just
your
all the lights
stage.
on, and I'll be, sweating to the hits. Do you hear me? Sweating to the hits, singing my heart out. And my mother would tell me years later. She said, "Therese, I would just peek in. I would go outside and kind of peek in at the window just to see, just to make sure you're okay." I'm like, "Really?" She said, "Because you would be in there for hours. You would be in there for
Wow.
hours."
Just putting
I was
on your own performance.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
love
Let me
that.
tell you. So when people see the stage presence, it is something I literally did not know I was doing that, but I was honing on my own in the dark, just
Wow.
having fun. And
Yeah.
I yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what they
Yeah.
see. So
Yes.
that's what they see, and I think that that's what they appreciate about me. And I realized too that going out on the road with such amazing artists, like, I've sung with Jennifer Holiday. I've gone out with just Justin Bieber, which is two different things. You have this phenom. You see how the infrastructure and the machine works for him, and then you see how the machine works differently
Yeah.
for others, right?
Or
And then
doesn't work for
or
others.
does it work for others? But then
That
but
part.
then I've had the beautiful pleasure of working for like 10 plus years with Gloria Gaynor. And so this luxurious career that a lot of people may not know a lot about over here in America, but when we went and traveled all over the world,
Hmm.
there were I had never seen it, tens of thousands of people that are coming to these festivals to see her and to sing this song, I Will Survive. And so I realized what music, just like when I was in church as a little girl,
Hmm.
I knew what the shout songs and my mother singing beautiful hymns, making people cry, and people catching the spirit, and people feeling healed and comforted by the song. I see how gospel, that it's not just gospel, but the right, beautiful message within a song can do that all over the world. And
Yeah.
it's, it's, it transcends cultures. It transcends language barriers. It just really just kind of goes straight to the heart.
To
A
the spirit.
song, a spirit can, in the spirit, it really can do that. And the
Hmm.
rhythm, and that's what rhythm for me, especially the Gullah rhythm for me, does for me every time. So I I know that, and when I know that the rhythm of our people had to get them through the most incredible circumstances,
Yes.
that rhythm saved their lives. It
Yeah.
helped them build lives. They worked in rhythm in the fields. They worked in rhythms on the waterways. They had to sing their way out of getting beaten and whipped in the downtrodden of their circumstances. A rhythm of that rhythm helped them get through. And so I just know it heals. And
Yeah.
so I'm just, so music, and what that has taught me traveling with all these different people, I think that musicians and artists, who have this gift, have to realize how powerful it is.
Hmm.
It can heal, but it can also hurt. And so I don't take it lightly. And so, but I am very grateful to have been given this gift, because
Yeah.
I know that it heals and comforts people. And so I'm very happy to be able to do it. So, and grateful to have been able to do it all over the world. So
Yeah.
that's what I'll say about
That's,
that.
I mean, that's just such an amazing experience, talking about, just to hear you describe going from putting on your own shows in
Yes.
that room to performing for tens and thousands of people, and probably like sharing the same energy. Because you're sharing the same energy, but that's so impactful, so wonderful.
It is.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So I want to talk to you about seasons, because we open, the conversation like, listen, I just turned 50. This is a whole
It's
new
the season.
situation. I am emerging. So, and we all go through seasons, the quiet preparation, the sometimes we have to experiment, And
Yeah.
then something breaks through. That's the emergence
Mm.
piece. So tell us a little bit about what your creative process looks like when a new song or a new idea begins to emerge. How does it,
Mm.
yeah, what's the process?
It can take different shapes. The
Okay.
first thing, so when it comes to a song for me, it doesn't always have words first. It does start with the melody, and I'm humming a melody. So it starts with the music. And if it doesn't move me, I'm not I won't be able to do much with it. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so
Mhm.
even when I'm presenting songs and music from other producers to write to, it really does have to move me to be able to do that. And I think that's because of rhythm and how I've been raised and what I'm used to. And so that process for me is it's not easy because I can't. Some people can write on a whim. I have a friend that can write anything and to anything on a whim, and I'm not able to do that. So if I am, so I haven't been in a very creative space as it relates to writing in music for years, for literally years now. So I've been singing a lot of the same music that I've had for a
Okay.
long, long time, and I haven't. I actually because of this festival, I haven't really had the time to really kind of,
Yeah.
kind of you have to be in a
Because you're
space
building
of,
something.
oh man. So and that's a different headspace and a
Hmm.
different creative process. And so and I'm okay with it. So but for
Yeah.
me, for music, it does have to move me. Sometimes it just hits me when I'm driving. I came up with a beautiful song that and I'll get the melody and I'll get the words probably, and I'll put it in the tape and I'll send it to a producer friend. Hey, let's work on this,
Yeah.
and then we'll build it out and then we'll
Okay.
explore it. But I haven't had one of those moments in some time
Hmm.
to that a lyric would help hit me and everything like that.
Yeah.
But that's how it could hit me in the shower, and I
Yeah.
have to, or it could hit me on a walk. But if you notice, I'm alone.
Hmm.
I'm in a space of not a lot of distraction,
Yeah.
and I'm able to process. So
Yeah.
so that's spirit too,
Yeah.
especially when you're praying. That's when God can speak to you most, when you're not as distracted. So that's those beautiful songs and lyrics and things like that happens for me in
Yeah.
that way.
That's beautiful.
But process of, but I am an ideas person, and I am very creative, and I have to remind myself of that. Sometimes I don't think we give ourselves credit, because for the longest time I put myself in a box that I
Mm.
was just a singer, that I wasn't a writer, or but then I was writing songs. So then, Teresa, I think you a songwriter. Okay, then I write songs. I am a songwriter. Okay, good. And then there was a time when I had a bad experience in the recording studio with a
Mhm.
producer who was not a good engineer. He was good as a musician, but not a good producer. But I didn't know the difference. So I internalized that and didn't think I was a good recording artist. So I said,
Right.
you know what, Teresa, you're just a good performer. Until I met someone who was good as an engineer and could work with me in the recording studio.
Knew
And
what
so
they were
now
doing,
y'all need to go on Apple Music and listen to some of my songs. They're pretty
and we
good,
will.
because I
Yeah.
found somebody who can help me pull that out. So we have to be careful. So I'm going to land this plane, but my point is, in terms of being creative in my process, the
Yes.
first process for me is to stop telling me that I can't do. I am my biggest fan now. I am
Oh,
telling myself, no, you know what? I'm because the reason, let me just be 100% clear to you, Najma. I did not intend, I only did shows for myself and book shows because I wasn't being booked and I wanted to sing.
gotcha.
So I'm like, so sometimes, and I'm not saying this to any promoters, but sometimes when you out on the road with certain people, maybe they think you're too expensive, or maybe they think that you're gonna be too much to deal with. So I just wasn't getting called. I didn't feel like I
Yeah.
was getting called. And then some
Okay.
things, and I would do things during there for free. I just like to sing because I had a full-time job. I'm still working. I've been working like since 2000. People don't know that I got a full-time job. I got like another career.
Oh no.
I'm a geechee. I know they say Geechees do. We got two, three, four, five jobs. I
At
swear,
least. At
at least,
least.
at
At
least.
least. Okay.
So
What? At least.
at least, man. And so I just said, so my process is like, I'm going to stop telling myself what I'm not, and start telling and start believing in what I actually am and what I'm
Mm,
actually doing. And so,
mhm.
no, you're not just a singer. You might have to promote yourself. If you want to sing, go somewhere and sing. So that's what I did. I put on shows in Atlanta. And then I wanted to get into this particular place. They weren't booking me. So I went and booked the whole performing arts center. It was like 300 people. And I didn't think I could do it, but I got somebody to help me, and we almost sold that thing out.
That's
And and then that place called, and then the place that I wanted to go, they called, and then I got that opportunity. But if I had stayed stuck telling
mm,
myself what I couldn't and what I wasn't getting, instead of just going
yes.
out and doing it, I I wouldn't have done it. But because of that, when I started telling myself who I actually am, like, okay, Therese, you sing, you're a songwriter, and then you're producing because you paying for all this record. Ain't no record company paying for this record. This your
You're a
hard-earned money.
producer.
You paying for. I'm the producer. Okay, you got to get this one today. All right, great. So you doing that? So then, Therese, you want to do a festival? No one was. I want to do festivals. Nobody was calling me for no festival. I want, I mean, I did a couple of festivals. I ain't, I appreciate all the people who call me to do festivals, and I really
Sure,
do
sure,
appreciate that.
sure.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I wanted to do more. So I'm like, well,
Yes.
let's put one on.
There you go.
Girl, now they ain't the same as putting on something in a club, but still, I learned a lot. But my point is that that's my creative process.
Yes.
Starting, I do have a lot of I have a lot of great ideas,
Yes.
and I've started to, I've written them down. Um, Before I had a festival, I had a logo.
Yeah.
Before, you know what I'm saying? I actually had the logo years before, and I had the name of the festival years before I even did it. And my father passed away in 21, and I was like, Treese, what are you waiting for? I mean, a lot of the people that you want to see, they're leaving.
Sure.
What are you waiting for? But I was trying to, run after what I thought was success in music. And what success is in music is actually singing. I don't care if you're singing at the local church. You don't have to be singing. I may not be a Grammy Award winner, but I'm singing.
Mhm.
I don't have to be seen by even hundreds. But people call me for funerals, and I'm happy to do it because that's a comfort. My gift is a balm, and I
Yeah.
want to, it's a gift to be presented and opened by many, and so I use it, and so I had to change another process of another creative step in my process is changing my definition of success. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't, when I first started the festival, I wasn't, I did not, I wanted to have the festival in Bluffton. Like at the, we had, back in the day when they had all them baseball teams,
Yes.
Burton had a baseball team.
Yes.
We had one here in Bluffton. They had one in
Had
Walterboro. They
plenty
would
on the
travel to have one in
island.
Savannah. Everybody had a team.
Everybody
And so
had a team.
we had the Bluffton Eagles field here in Bluffton, and my daddy loved that field, and we would love going after Sundays, and they'd be frying chicken, frying fish. They had a DJ out there commentating the game. Come on, Doug, just
Huh?
on the mic, playing music, and people were just jamming and just having a ball. And I wanted to recapture
Bring that
that,
back. Mhm.
and then show them the culture that our culture is amazing but that Lord blocked it, and the space wasn't available. And but when you but when you but when you just start and put yourself out there, take the risk, and just flow wherever God just shows you. I could have been devastated, and he did not give me time to, because when that fell through, my brother's like, hey, I know somebody on Hilton Head. I know a
Boom.
place. Boom.
Let's
Don't
go.
worry about it. Let's just go. And I said, I'm like, okay, great. And then that worked out. And then when the tickets weren't selling the first year as much, and I'm like, oh. And he said, Treese, this is my brother. It is always good to have a family member or somebody just like, hey, if it's just me, you, and a banjo player,
Come on.
we're
We
gonna
getting
have
it
this
started.
festival. We're
We
gonna have
getting
this
it.
festival.
Yeah.
And I don't know about it, and I know my brother don't know this. He don't even know that the banjo is an African instrument. Because I didn't know that
Very much
until
so.
recently. I didn't know that. But he said if it's just me, you, and a banjo, we're gonna have
Yeah.
this festival. He said
Yeah.
it's fine. If a few hundred people come, you just starting, you just gotta get out there. Girl, in the first year, 1,000 people came to
Mm.
a concept, an idea, a creative moment of when I said, you know what, I want to have a festival that celebrates me and my culture, the people that look like me and Najma.
Come on.
Honestly, because there's beauty in this lips and these hips, the way that they, and the way that we speak and the food that we eat. It's just, I wanted to celebrate that, and people came, and I thought that only local people. I wanted it for our local people.
Mhm.
Bluffton, Hilton Head, Pritchardville, Low Bottom, Beaufort, the islands. But people are traveling from all over
Yes.
because I decided to stop telling myself what I couldn't do and
Hmm.
just start embracing what I was doing
Yeah.
and just allow it to evolve. So my creative process is very flexible now at the age of 50.
Yes.
There are things that I'm learning about myself and having to learn about the process because we're still very new, and I don't have all of the resources financially to be able to pay for all these things to happen. But I am very grateful because of all of the things that I've learned in my personal job and all the things that I've learned in my personal career, that I've been able to efficiently be able to bring some friends and family together to help
Yes.
me and to help to push this thing forward. And they've been my cheerleaders, and I have to thank my mother. She's here, as she
Shout
always
out to
is,
mommy.
watching. 80 years old and 81 in June, and I come home from Atlanta scatterbrained. I'm like, Mama, I need you to get your book, and I need you to write these. She's taking action items for me, and she's like, well, did you do this? Did you do this? Naj, you need that for your creative
Yeah.
process. You need
Sure.
someone to help you be accountable. And
Hmm.
so, I mean, and shout out to you for doing this podcast. This is not easy to be consistent.
It is
It's
not. It is not.
because you
It is not.
it is not. It
It's,
is not
it's,
to
it
have
just ain't.
questions. And I want to tell your people that she sent these questions. Her creative process, she obviously is organized. She sent questions in advance, and she, I mean, it's very nice email, just kind of welcoming and thanking. That takes a lot. This ain't her only job. You know
No,
what
it
I'm
is
saying?
not.
So it's like, so my creative process is in the margins.
Yeah.
So it's in the margins. So you have to find space to just be creative.
Hmm.
um so yeah, I'm rambling, but
That's
I feel
okay.
that
No, it's good
that's a
stuff.
part of my process too. I'm kind of all over the place, but it's
It comes
all
together.
coming. It
It all
don't
comes
it?
together.
Let me
It comes
tell
together.
you,
It's gumbo.
uh,
It's gumbo.
it's okra and tomatoes, girl.
Come
It's the okra
on.
soup. It's
It's coming
gumbo,
together. It's
which
always, and
is
it's
a
gonna be
Gullah
good.
word.
And it's
You know
gonna
what
be
I'm saying?
good.
It's gonna it's gonna be good. It's
It's gonna be
gonna
so
be
good.
good. And so no, I
Yeah.
but I want to impress upon everyone that's listening, especially women of our age, and
Hmm.
that it's okay. Even my brain is at 50 now, it's getting a little fuzzy. So I gotta write a lot more things down, or I have to get a little bit more rest.
Yeah.
But you can start wherever you are. Just give yourself grace.
Yeah.
Start telling yourself what you are already doing. Do those things, because I'm at an age right now, I ain't really worried about my I ain't really worried about getting my all of my bad things, my weaknesses. I ain't trying to shrink my weaknesses.
We're
I'm
good.
at this age, I'm focusing on my strengths.
I love that. Latrice, I love how you said, I mean, you said right now, I am my biggest fan.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the takeaway. That right there. No, I'm telling you, that's the takeaway. That's the emergence energy that we're going with this season. Right now, I am my biggest fan.
I
Okay,
am.
right
Do you
here.
hear me?
Can I have my
Oh, now,
autograph? Let's do this.
yeah. You
Oh
have to
my
be.
goodness.
You
Thank
have
you
to
for
be.
that. Thank you for
Absolutely.
that.
Because let me tell you this. In the background, this is my grandmother. She's passed away now. My mother's mother was
Yeah.
she passed away at 98.
Wow.
And we have in Bluffton this weekend, we have the Mayfest, and this is one of her quilts. And so she was a
Yeah.
quilter.
Y'all
And
look at this.
I know, look at this
Beautiful
stuff.
art.
It's art. Now at
It's
first, I was
art.
like, Grandma. I used to say, like, in my mind, because I love my grandma. I said, I wonder if Grandma could she find one pattern and just use that. I'm like,
Grandma.
she. I'm like, but I like the one
No.
she gave me. Now this is the one my mama. She gave my mama, but she had whatever scraps. But
And that's
honestly,
what we do.
yeah, I just read the book. I'm reading the book Gullah Days by Miss Carolyn Grant, Mr. Emery S. Campbell, and Mr. Thomas Bonwell, and it
Yeah.
is changing. I had the book 6 years. Sorry, I told Carol the other day. I said, I finally getting to read this book, but it's changing my life. And
Yeah.
because they talked about it was cold.
It
It was cold back in the day when
needs must. Needs must, my dear. But that's the thing about Gullah Geechees. When we need something, we make it with what we have with our own two hands. But it's always beautiful.
it's
It's
always beautiful.
always beautiful. It doesn't even matter. It's scraps of whatever. But if it's the food, it's always gonna taste good. If it's the house, it's always gonna be sturdy. We put our hands where we put our hands on. It's always good.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth, and that's what I was talking about. The simple and sophisticated. These are simple patterns, simple things that she got together, but put together in a sophisticated way. I can't make
Mhm.
it.
I can't
I
make it.
don't. It's a skill. I can't do it.
I'm
And
gonna learn. It's
I,
on my list. I'm gonna
yeah, I do,
learn,
and I do want
but
to learn how to the basket weave too. But I don't know how to do
but
that.
they got
But
it.
and so I there, and I also want to caution people, and just like I had to caution myself when I was, thinking about my grandma and these patterns that she would choose. But you got to be careful about how you put your mouth on people who are actually working in their doing something.
Come on.
Everybody got an opinion about something that they ain't doing.
You ain't doing it.
You ain't doing it. How
You
about
gonna
you
put
say,
your
you know
mouth
what?
on
I see you
the
trying. I see you out there trying.
Yes.
I realized that there are some things with the festival that people may have not liked last year. There's some things that we are always going to build to improve. But can you give a shout out to the Black girl that
Come
from
on.
from from Bluffton, South Carolina,
Come
that
on.
decided to put, because this ain't all sponsorship money. You know
Come
what I'm
on.
saying? That's getting this together.
Somebody's writing
Give
her
a
own
girl a break.
checks.
And you know what? Even if you don't give me no break, I'm gonna give myself a break.
Cause
All
you're
right.
your biggest fan. That's what biggest
You don't.
fans do.
That's what your biggest fans do. So if you happen to come back to my page after you have put a nasty comment on it and you can't find it, I want you to know right now it got deleted.
I
And
love that energy. I love that energy. That's not how biggest fans do not lean into criticism. Okay.
I
Biggest
don't.
fans lean into love. That's what we're doing
No,
here.
and I do.
Okay.
I do believe. I will say this. I do believe that complaints can be a gift.
Sure.
And
You can
they are,
improve.
but it don't mean like I have to live there. So
We're
I'm
not
gonna read your complaint, but I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm like, okay, I got it, noted,
we're
and
not
we'll
going
move
to
right on.
amplify that in this space, right?
We're
Because
not.
that's not what we're doing.
We're
It's
not
not
gonna
what
do
we're
that.
doing. We don't
We're
have
not,
apologies
because
for it.
my grandmother was selling her quilts at the Mayfest that's happening this year, every year in Bluffton. Now it's grown. It was small back 30 years ago. It's
Yeah.
now thousands of people that converge on Bluffton to look at all these, these local merchants and more. And my grandmother used to have a tent where she, at 90 plus years old, selling her
Wow.
quilts. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey,
So why can't this 50-year-old do
come on.
something? Out of here. The woman had a ninth grade education, was shucking oysters and picking crab and cleaning people's houses to take care of her family of 14,
Yes.
15 kids. And I ain't got no kids.
You
You mean I can't do it? What's my excuse?
or they
No.
say can't die in the cornfield. You better ain't
Let
no
me
such
tell you
thing.
something. So I'm telling you, when you talk about the creative process. I appreciate the question, but sometimes I just lean into the fact that, Trees, what else you got to do?
Come on.
What else you got going on?
Do this.
What excuses can you make? You go ahead and do it. Just try. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
It's nothing. So I just marvel at Gullah women
Yes.
that, like my grandmother, Gullah men like my grandfather that worked so hard to take care of their children. My mother would tell me how they would go. My grandfather and his friend would go out in the May River and they would bring back all this mullet because
Hmm.
they love some mullet.
They
Now
love some
I love
mullet.
whiting, but
They love some mullet.
they
Love
love
them.
some mullet.
Love that mullet.
And she said, Trees, if we were to dig up that backyard right now, you would see skeletons of mullet. There was so much mullet that they brought home that we would just bury the mullet. It was just so much. But even but even that, fish and grits.
Yes.
Simple, but sophisticated.
But
Because can you
sophisticated.
fish? Can you go out and catch a fish? I can. And
That's
then
why
when
I
you
keep
catch it, you gotta
I
come back
got
and
me a
clean
good
it.
Gullah fisherman. I got me a Gullah fisherman. He can fish.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So
could-
no, I
yeah.
so my creative process is simple. It just really is. It's just simply sitting quietly, getting my thoughts together.
Hmm.
But it's like a quilt. My
Yes.
process is a quilt, and it's really much like these patches.
Hmm.
They all my thoughts and my ideas, they are not always the same, but they come together cohesively like a quilt.
And it's,
And
and it's
I have
beautiful.
been living my life that way. You know,
Yeah.
all of the things I've done, going from playing basketball in college to going to Atlanta to singing jazz, R&B, soul, wondering, okay, which genre? I'm gonna sing it all, and I'm gonna tie it into some Gullah music. That's
Yes.
what Gullah Joy gonna do
Come
moving forward.
on.
I'm gonna live my life like my grandmother's quilt. I'm just gonna patch all the things that I get to do, that the Lord has blessed me to do. I'm gonna weave them things together. That's what I've been doing now, weaving them things together, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna present it to the world. And whoever will love it,
Whosoever.
who's the never?
Whosoever.
It's for, and I'm not gonna worry about it because I ain't for everybody. So, but who I'm for,
They're
and
gonna
that's what
love
we're
it.
gonna go with.
And we love it. And that I was gonna ask you in closing if you could leave our listeners with one truth, about building something, what would it be? I think it would be that.
It would be that.
I think it would be that because that's a whole word right there. And that's a
Mhm.
beautiful way to encapsulate this story that you have shared with us.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you. I feel like I've been on a ride. Like I started and it was,
I know.
we were
My bad.
here and then we moved and we went through and
Oh
we had
yeah.
some
Oh yeah.
things and we had a show and
We
and
did.
then we went and we took a plane ride and we came back and now we are here and we
Welcome
are
to my brain.
this is a beautiful place. I enjoy it there. Thank you. I
Welcome.
really appreciate you for just taking your time to
Yes.
share with us. I appreciate what you're doing with the Fish and Grits Festival as someone who has planned major, conferences, multi-day. I know this is
Mm.
not a easy task.
It is
And I
not.
know doing it year after year after year, it's not it's sometimes you won't be like, I ain't gonna do this. So thank you for that. We appreciate you. I love that you have Brother Amiri in the background.
Oh,
The movement is so for you. It is all of the things that you just described for
and the
us.
colors, yes.
It's just popping. It's just bringing everything. So this is the energy,
Hmm.
y'all. This is it. When
It
you
is.
you encounter Gullah
Mm.
Joy, Latrese Bush, this is what you're getting.
Oh, that's true.
And we're just so grateful for you for sharing the space with us here on the
Thank you.
Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast, for bringing your energy, for bringing your joy. Let the people know before you sign off where they can engage with you, how they can support your work, how they can get into this fish and grits. Drop the
Yes.
details for us.
Indeed, please go to the fishandgritsmusicfest.com, fishandgritsmusicfest.com. We'll be at the Lowcountry Celebration Park on October the 3rd, and we want to see you there. It's a homecoming, great food, great music, great times with great people. The Gullah Geechee.
Oh my goodness. And we will be in the building. The Day Clean Devotion Queen will be in the building. So, Queen Sis, y'all make sure you get your tickets and come on out. I hope that you got as much joy and emergence energy from this conversation as I did.
I
I
did.
know that you did. And for our wonderful listeners, thank you so much for tuning in again. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you felt the energy coming across your screen. Thank you for joining us there. And I say it every time, I did not forget. Sharing is caring, Queen Sis. Don't keep all this goodness to yourself. Share this with your networks. And until next time, I want to send you all the good energy. I hope that the remainder of your week is everything it needs to be. And you just go ahead and be your biggest fan, like Gullah Joy said, and you be blessed, Queen Sis. Until next time, peace.